Hello YouTube, this is Callum from EnglishShooting, and this is my product review of the Mechanix Wear 0.5mm original high dexterity gloves. Now, some of you would have seen previously that these are my go-to gloves, and they've got a rubbery, sticky, grippy palm, and they're thermal, they keep my hands warm. And I used to do a lot of shooting with these. They're low profile, they're not big and baggy, and allowed me to still have the dexterity that I needed. However, the material's quite soft and plush, they get dirty very easily, and there's already signs of wear. So for the rough and tough applications, I'm just going to destroy these gloves. So I didn't want to do that. And obviously I bought the Beretta 1301, which is absolutely perfect, love the gun, but it seems to like eating my thumb. When I go to load the shotgun, you put the shell in, the loading gate pops up and my thumb gets jammed in the loading gate. And what I end up having to do is basically rip my thumb out and it catches on the loading gate, which was basically beating up my thumb, ripping it apart, and it was getting to the point where it was painful enough where I just didn't want to practice, I didn't want to load the gun, didn't want to use the gun. So I needed a glove that was going to protect my thumbs, be very thin but long lasting and tough. Now Mechanix Wear has that reputation, and I instantly thought of these gloves. I'd seen them used many times in the sort of auto industry as Mechanix Wear. Also within the shooting industry, they have got huge within shooting. So I thought I would give them a go. Now these were only sort of £22–23, and I just thought, yeah, I'll give them a go for that sort of money and see how I get on. And they've been absolutely brilliant. They're so tough, so sort of just resilient to any sort of wear. They keep your hands warm, and they're exceedingly high dexterity. Obviously, as I said, they're the 0.5mm thickness. That means the tough sort of suede palm material is 0.5mm, and it really is like a second skin. You can do everything you want to. There's just no clunkiness to them. You know, you can just flick pens and balance things really easily within your fingers. You know, normal gloves, you wouldn't be able to have that sort of movement. You can still use your phone. The material still has this sort of capacitive function, so you can still control it. Now, obviously the Thumb ID isn't going to work, but you can still have full operation of your phone. You can text and do everything you'd need to with these gloves. The materials, it's not as grippy. That's my only, criticism, and there's a small criticism as well that I'll get onto. You know, the only thing is they're slightly slippery. Well, with the 1301, the checkering grips onto pretty much anything, so I don't need to worry about grip. However, because they're seamless, it's smooth, it doesn't catch, so my loading gate issue just absolutely disappears. And even if I do get it slightly caught, I can just whack it straight out, rip it straight out, and it's not going to hurt my thumb. The gloves do their job and protect it, protect my thumb really, really well. A couple of features that I really like on it is the wrist strap. So it's got a Velcro strap. You can have it as loose or as tight as you want, and that stops the gloves from coming off and then coming loose. If they do come slightly loose, the other thing that I really like are these little pulls. Now, we all know wearing gloves, if they start to slip off, it's an absolute nightmare wearing gloves to actually push them back on. With this, no, 2 seconds, give them a quick tug, and everything's back in place. Absolutely brilliant. The other features as well is the doubling up of material on the high wear areas. You can see here that they've doubled up on the thumb, and they've also continued around all of the fingers. So they haven't just sort of stopped, they've covered the fingers as well around the tips to make sure that obviously it's not going to get caught and it's long lasting and you've got that protection. My criticism of these gloves is the labelling. Now obviously they've got a very defined look. You've got the Mechanix branding all over the back of the hand, you've got the Mechanix logo there as well. So why did they need to add that? For something that's low profile, high dexterity, why add more material? That's just gonna, it's high risk of getting caught, it rubs against things, it's just, for me it's not needed. You can see their mechanics. Why add that? Also, I did have to snip out the internal tags as well. I know most things sort of have to come with these tags these days. These are inside. I could snip them off. I don't care about that. I've done a good enough job that it doesn't affect the glove. If I was to snip these off, I would either end up making it look absolutely crap, or I'd end up compromising the strength of the glove. So yeah, I can give them a complete 10 out of 10 really, or maybe a 9.5 out of 10 because of this silly little logo, but I can highly recommend these. If you're looking for something for this sort of application, you really shouldn't think twice about going for these gloves. So I really hope that this review has been helpful for you. Let me know if there's any other competitors to these that you've seen about. I'd be interested to see that. But as always, again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.